Hello, hello, hello. It's Friday, baby. My name is Lady T, and I am your host for today. I'm here with co-host Mr. Know-It-All. How are you, Mr. Know-It-All?
Well, I'm feeling really excited again. We have some great guests with us today.
Yes,
we're excited about it because this month, like last month was Women's International month, and that we had some really great guests for that. But this month, as we're ending the month, is Jazz Appreciation Month, and as you all know, we're musicians and we're artists, and we're really looking to kind of expand on that. So I thought it would be incredible to kind of talk a little bit about Jazz Appreciation Month, and also just talk about people who are doing some incredible things who we're able to meet this week. So just to give a little background, Jazz Appreciation Month started actually in 2001, right? And it was started by the National Museum of American History, the Smithsonian Jazz part of it. And it started as a way for people to basically, to appreciate jazz, to go out and attend concerts, listen to jazz on the radio, recordings, read books about jazz, and learn more about, jazz artists, past and present. Wow. So this weekend we had an incredible experience because, as a trumpet player, I like to go to jam sessions and play with people. So, and as a singer, you like to go out and
I love singing.
Watch singing,
I love
do
all
singing.
types of music.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
So we went down to the Sour Mouse on Delancey Street, Lower Manhattan, and we had the pleasure. Where did we go? We went to the
Sour Mouse.
The Sour Mouse.
And at Delancey Street.
Right. And we went to the Jazz Jam that was hosted by
JoRei Jazz.
JoRei Jazz. And we are so lucky and fortunate that we have the two founding members of the JoRei Jazz, Johnny Johnson and Katherine Joyce Reilly, as guests today. Yes. So we want to say welcome to the show.
Welcome.
How are you guys doing?
Thank you, guys.
Fine. Well, thank you for inviting us.
Yes, thank you. We're fine. It was lovely meeting you too.
And it was great coming and experiencing the whole session. And you could tell us more about it. I know it's on Sundays, and that is a relaxing day in the first place. And then when you go, the vibe is always, it seemed like it was wonderful. So tell us more about that.
Oh, well, Johnny and I started this, as you said, 2.5 years ago. And I think we both came together to do stuff like this because we felt like there was something missing, but the idea is that we love music and we weren't doing it for the money, and we're doing it for love. And I think that's the vibe that you're feeling because, in any experience, it comes from the top down. So I think our love for music and our interest in supporting the young people that are coming in to hone in on their skills or try themselves out, or even the seasoned one who just need to sing, we're trying to create that. We're trying to create that kind of environment where everybody feels welcome. Johnny, you can give your take on it as well.
Well, we have really did a great job, Kat and I, myself. And we've been in the business for a very long time. And we decide that having that same joy of seeing people so happy, and all people from all walks of life. And it gave us a really great feeling to see that. And it was a great feeling to also see the world. In other words, what I mean by that is we have everyone there.
Yes.
No matter where you come from, what you look like. We just love the feeling of seeing them, giving us that joy, allowing us to bring them to our plateau of music. And they love it. We do not say to the person, oh no, you don't sound good. We give them that joy of saying, we love what you're doing.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they love that.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead, Kat. I'm sorry.
The whole idea was to have a venue, a platform for singers and musicians to come and play and hone in on their skills, but at the same time expose it to all generations. Our mission is to honor the legacy of jazz and to keep it going. And the only way that happens if the younger generation is exposed to it. So the venue being billiards and game hall, they're automatically attracting the students and the younger generation. So if it's free, then they're going to come, and anyone should be able to come and hear music and not have to spend $75 if you go to one of the bigger venues. Just come, enjoy music, relax, and at the same time expose it to all generations, and they don't have to feel like, oh, I can't go out because I don't have any money.
Yeah.
I don't have enough money. So you should, we want it to be everybody to have the opportunity to experience and listen to music and relax and enjoy and be entertained.
Right. I mean, that it was such a beautiful environment. And what I did like about it, it was, like you said, all generations were there. And you did have the youth, and that was really impressive because they are learning the jazz standards and to be exposed at such a young age. And even knowing that if they don't know it, they can work it out, and they could do it with their own confidence and feel comfortable doing it. And that's what I got from it.
Right.
And I was really amazed to see it. I thought it was wonderful. And it's a great thing to offer to the youth and to people who maybe they've been in the industry and they, like you said, they want to come and just sing, because they may not get that opportunity except for singing maybe in their bathroom, in the shower,
Right.
that kind of thing. But they get to actually work it out in front of
Exactly.
a live audience. So that is really appreciated. So I applaud you guys. I mean, it's amazing.
Thank you.
What you're doing. Thank you for that.
One of the interesting things, since we're talking about that I found was the song selection. I saw extremely young people saying Louis Armstrong songs. World.
Yeah.
Another person did Frank Sinatra, right? Fly Me to
Yeah.
Another person did. These are people who just came up and they pulled out their books and stuff, and they wanted to do Someone to Watch Over Me. Some of these songs,
Right.
I mean, I'm the thing I was thinking was like, well, how did they even think of these tunes? Because it's not like they're going back 20, 30, they're going back 50, 75 years in some cases. So, your mission and some of the things you mentioned, you're able to do. Interesting thing, when I was speaking to you, Johnny, you were talking about how you guys started this pretty much like at the height of the pandemic. So
right.
How you got through that challenge,
We had.
I'll say, okay, Johnny.
No, you sound. Please go ahead.
We had we did the open mic type thing at a small cafe a couple of years back. It was 2018. We did that for a couple. I was dragging Johnny, come on, he did it years ago when I met him 10 years ago. So from that time, I was telling him, come on, let's find another space. Let's find another space. So I found a spot, a small cafe, and we did it there a couple of months, and it didn't last. The owner he wasn't feeling it. He said, I like what you're doing, but it doesn't fit. And it turns out that a year later, September 2020, he called me and he said, look, I really did like what you guys are doing. And I have a space that I think it'll work in. Why don't you come down and meet me? So I called Johnny, and I'm thinking, I don't really want to do this. The pandemic. How are we going to do this? So of course, we went downstairs and we saw the size for social distancing. We were like, the art and the size, it's scary, but we got to try it. Bring, masks. Our flyers were bring your own mic.
Yeah.
We have mic masks. We just tried it. We said, let's try it. It was very slow at first, but I figured, Johnny and I talked about it. We said, look, if we don't take it now, we're going to be outside looking in.
Right.
So we should just try to make it work. And we've made it last. It was quite a journey.
Wow. That's impressive.
We also, one of the clubs that we started, the last club that we started at Perks, it was one of the well-known jazz places in Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
And by us doing that, we moved on because the change in Harlem was changing drastically.
Yeah, right. To put it
So,
lightly.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, when we were there, though, we had great fun being there. And things had changed for the worse, what I like to say, because the Harlem was changing. So you were not able to stay in the places where you were at that time. You may have some of the clubs that were still there,
Yeah.
and they were really struggling themselves. So when we moved down to
Black Cat Cafe.
yeah, when we moved down to there, and we were asked to come down and join them. It wasn't easy at the beginning because a lot of musicians were still waiting for the high salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had asked them, can you honestly give us some help with that? We will do whatever we can do at that time, you know, to make sure we give them something. They worked with us. And that was great. Because I'm talking about some good musicians.
Yeah, that's
And
Yeah,
after
because
that,
that's very tough to get
Yeah.
to happen.
But you have to realize that musicians were not working. So it really wasn't as difficult to get them that they really wanted to play. And in the summer times, they were playing outside.
Yeah.
But what happens in the winter when it gets cold?
Yeah.
Right.
So I think they were willing to take a chance and work with us with the price. So yeah, they worked with us, and we said, look, when we can, as soon as we can, we'll upgrade you a little bit. And again, it was out of our pockets. So whether there was an audience or not, tips, Johnny and I just scraping in our pocket, say, okay, how much you got? What you got? Well, how short are we? And then we basically did it that way until we were able to grow the audience to the point where we're not going into our pockets now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's you know, we have a long way to go, but I'm really happy we stuck to it to get to this point.
See, that's something that I found really admirable because, you know, when you're building things, you know, I mean, it could be, and then like if you're dealing with, you know, what you've come from as far as, you know, pandemic and then all the things that's going on in Harlem, you know, New York itself is just tough on real estate. And the first thing that
Yeah.
got hit hard was musicians, you know, because
Right.
a lot of entrepreneurs that started restaurants and started clubs. And then, you know, the real estate thing went crazy in New York, like before the pandemic, and they couldn't afford to really like kind of induce us.
Hey,
you know?
musician, it's true.
Yeah, so it was really bad. But what gets me is that I want to kind of pick your brains, like while you're going through that, to have the fortitude to make it through. You know, that makes the difference for everybody. So you guys are, let me just say this off the bat, tipping my hat to you because you're a success
Thank you.
story because you built something, and a lot of people fall apart at these really rough little things when trying to figure out how you're going to pay the people, how you're going to get the, you know, your staff to work it, you know, your musicians.
Right.
How did you guys
Right.
get over that hump to get to the point where you are right now? Because I see it as a major success story, you know, when you go down and you see what you built.
well, my thing, what I would honestly say is that you got to have a good person to work with you.
Yeah.
Someone who believes in what you believe in. And once you have that established, there's nothing that you cannot do.
Right.
We worked very, very hard at it. And we had those who did not really believe in us.
Mhm.
And we had changed their ideas and their attitudes, which was very great to have. And they started coming down and they started bringing other people. No matter how they saw us at the beginning, they love us now.
Yeah.
Going through at the to the end.
Yeah.
But we have to tip the hat to the venue. They gave us the spot,
Right.
and they believed in us because we were not bringing in a lot of people for a good time. You know, we built it for singers and musicians, but the audience wasn't really there yet. And they let us stay, and they just really stuck by us. They changed our time slot a little bit so that it sort of put us under the radar. And they put an act that comes after us, that were the money makers, that gave us the opportunity to get to the chance where we can grow.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the owner is obviously, he told me years ago that his commitment to community, because he grew up in the Lower East Side.
Oh,
And he says, I have a commitment to creating a community where people can do things and activities and art. So he really was a man of his word, because he really stuck with us. And I'm sure his partners may have said, hey, look, these guys aren't making enough money for us. But he stuck by us and he let us stay there. And that helped us. And that, of course, gives us the encouragement to keep going.
right.
Right. And for me, what I see, it's definitely a labor of love for you guys, because you're seasoned professionals. You guys are no slouches. I mean, I've heard you sing, and I am really saying that it's a great feeling to know that you're doing what you feel in your heart to do, and it makes a difference. And you guys have been in the industry. I did look up a little bit, and I noticed that Johnny his band opened for the OJs.
It's her favorite group.
That's one of my favorite groups.
She like, it's her name time. She want to go see
Yeah.
those.
And then
Yeah.
you're no joke either. Stevie Wonder and Martha Wash.
Another one of her favorites.
Yes. Really? Yeah.
Hey, this is a labor of love. You have to do it because it's in you. So, my hat's
It's
off to
in
you.
me.
I applaud you guys. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do want to go back to one thing that you were saying, Kat, about the space.
Yeah.
So, for our listeners, you got to go down there. Number one, that's the most important thing. Second thing is that the space, aesthetically, you got so many things going on. The artwork, that it's incredible. It is a large room, and from a musician standpoint, the room has a really good sound to it. It really
Right.
does, and that always helps, right? But I just love the way it's situated. So hats off to the guy that you're working with, because he has really got some aesthetically some artistic things going on, and you guys are bringing some incredible music. And I think you could take, it used to be, the old saying was, this and a token, you can get on a train, but you can't even use a token anymore, right? So in my opinion, you're about to see probably like a lot more traffic, just because this being like the strongest year after the pandemic is really out. The weather is, as you know, New York has gotten, it feels like June and April right now, right? So
Right, it's true.
I think you're going to see so much traffic between now and this season coming up, and it's probably going to be. I'm absolutely sure it's going to be a very strong year for you. So tell me, what's next for you guys? What other things do you see? As far as where you want to go, where you want to build. I'm not asking for your game plan, but I just.
That's classified information, my dear.
Just give me an idea of what your vision is, because obviously you guys are visionaries.
Well, we will be still doing what we're doing to its best, but we have other ideas also that we want to make sure that the people who are coming, we have people coming from really now, coming from all around the world.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a great thing, to see them come and sing. And when they get off, they just about have tears in their eyes.
Yeah.
Wow.
The joy that they're receiving from us,
Yeah.
as well all the races.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's so great to see that.
Yeah, with the audience, with people that are coming down to sing or to play. They're coming from all over, and that's wonderful. We're hoping to negotiate tonight so that we can, expand on our brand, for lack of a better word. So that's exciting for us. Hopefully by the end of the summer or fall, we will be looking to expand onto another night and then see where that takes us. Potential, we're thinking about getting the story out in the form of a documentary. A short documentary. The game plan, I would think, would be, correct me if I'm wrong, Johnny, with something like a documentary, we could then open the door for grants so that we can take it to the next level. Whether it's other locations, other nights, pay the musicians better. God knows they deserve it. So with the documentary and telling our story, I think we'll be open the door for sort of musician grants, art, cultural grants, and then, take it from there.
Yeah.
Excellent plan. And I do want to speak about the musicians. You have a great house band. You guys can speak on that a little bit. A really great house band.
And Lauren, the trumpet player.
And Lauren
is
is amazing. We're big fans.
I mean, called out a
Thank you.
tune, and she knew it.
I was
She
like,
was, and she's
You want to play
young,
first? She's like, yeah, I got this.
so young, and she was amazing.
Talk about the musicians.
Well, Lauren, I have to honestly say, when I say see her performing, we have a lot of joy with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her mother can tell you better than me, but I love the way how she performs. When you were performing with her, that was amazing also. I said, wow.
Wow, yeah, I love doing stuff with her. To think about the trouble I got her to practice. What I would have to get her. I didn't exactly go Joe Jackson on her, but I had to get her to practice. And eventually it kicked in. When she started to love it, that's when it sort of like a light switch went off.
Yeah, and you could see that.
And I didn't really have to push her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something.
She's really great though, but she also had a band that was phenomenal.
That
She's
night,
the youngest one in the band.
Yeah, they performed the open that day.
Yes, they did.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was. What was the gentleman's name? It was a really great guy. I caught the near the
Victor
end.
J.
Really great. Yes. Say it again for me.
Victor J. Group.
Yeah.
The day group.
Yeah, Victor J. Yeah, excellent.
That's one.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you honestly, when you go back to the beginning of, we would like to say the beginning of time. Let me just say that. And if you've been performing for so many years, there's a lot of things you can feel, and you'll never lose it.
Yeah.
And that's the joy of music.
Yeah.
What you honestly say, yeah, you want to play and you like playing, but when you're with a group of people that's doing the same thing that you are doing, bringing joy to the world. Like they say, bring joy to the world.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing you're doing there, you feel so great when you're gathering with other people. For instance, when you were there playing your trumpet, I just said to see you and Lauren playing together. It brought out a lot of joy. They're saying, wow, here's a trumpet player.
Yeah.
And
Joe, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
You
You're
was really great.
I appreciate
Come in there because I didn't know you was playing trumpet. When you got the horn and started playing, I said, wow, look at this. That turned Lauren on and say, I got to play with this guy.
Lauren was like,
really
I
Yeah,
got
because
this.
Lauren said, No, Lauren said I was honored that he asked me to play with him.
Oh, come
That-
on.
She was just
Well,
so
I gotta be sending the
joyful.
checks. I gotta send the checks out.
Yeah, it's in the mail, right?
She really was happy that, cause we have, let's be real, we have people who do come and they play
Yeah.
and they're learning. We don't knock them down.
Yeah.
Right. Mhm.
We don't knock them down. Just keep on doing what you're doing. And if they need any advice, we're willing to give it to them,
Right.
and they're happy with that. And they do come back.
And you see the growth.
And then, yeah, you
Yeah,
got positive
absolutely.
energy.
Yeah. And,
Absolutely.
It's something that is so, I mean, we can get on the conversation forever, but it is something that is needed, I wanted to read this one, and then we're going
Yes.
to kind of close, but
Okay.
yeah, we got to have you guys back. But, I was looking at something, this is a Martin Luther King quote, right? And it's very interesting. So, and it says that, he goes, everybody, I got to pull up more he's doing is I got to pull up my glasses, right? Okay. It says, everybody has the blues. Everybody longs for meaning. Everybody needs to love and be loved. Everybody needs to clap hands and be happy. Everybody longs for faith in music, especially this broad category called jazz. This is a
Right.
stepping stone towards all of these. This is a quote from Martin Luther King, and he saw that jazz was a uplifting, heroic type music during that time of the civil rights movement. So what you guys are doing, and Kat, I told you this a little bit. This is someone had sung, I forgot what that song was. A great song they sang, "My Way," right?
Okay.
And you had told me this
Mhm.
gentleman comes down there all the time, and the audience was so into him, and they just applauded him, and you could see it was therapeutic and was healing to him. This is what you guys are doing.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
we get it. We get it. We need more of that.
Good. I'm glad.
Definitely have a movie, a documentary, because you have a story to tell, that you're telling, really,
So everyone, don't forget to
Yep.
stop by on Sunday afternoon at 110 Delancey Street to witness JoRei Jazz, because they are magnificent. And you can go there and feel free to be who you are, perform, do what you need to do. So we thank you guys as guests because it is wonderful. It's Sunday afternoons, and it's at the Lower East Side, and the name of the location is the Sour Mouse.
And the wonderful host star, Johnson.
Johnny Johnson and Katherine Joyce Reilly.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate
Thank you for having us.
it.
Thank you.
Any questions?
So,
All right. Have a great week, guys.
yeah, so what we usually do is we close it out and we say, if there's anyone who's listening has any questions or concerns, feel free to email us at info@itsfridaybaybay.com. That's info@itsfridaybaybay.com. And what do? We usually have a song to end in. What song do you have in mind?
Well, being that it's Jazz Appreciation Month, the end of, we're going to end with a song that Traci actually featured on Rubyboo Records, my favorite label. And it's a cover of God Bless the Child by Billie Holiday. And when you're talking music and jazz
Yeah.
and vocals, there's no greater than Billie Holiday.
Holiday.
And you know it's
Amen.
a great thing.
Amen.
And
Yeah.
why is that, Traci?
Why?
It's Lady T?
Because
Because it's
it's
Friday,
Friday,
baby. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible said, and it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Yes, the strong gets more while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Money, you've got lots of friends crowding round the door. When you're young and spending ends, they don't come no more. Rich relations give crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Rich relations give crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. He's just got his own. He's just got his own. Got his own. He's just 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 got his own.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any agency and/or platform. The material and information presented here is for general information and entertainment purposes only. It's Friday, Baybay. Name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use is not an endorsement or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service.